To mentally enslave a great people that have hiddenly benefited the world most throughout history is to divide them and erode their love for themselves. Here's how this is achieved. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them to believe lesser about themselves. Teach them from institution that makes them focus only on the information that is provided. Make them attend the institution from age 5 until they're 18 and repeatedly test them on the information to ensure that they're retaining it and it becomes their truth. Gives them an explanation to everything so that they never have a chance to make their own assumptions of the world. Scold them and humiliate them if they suggest opinions that opposes the narratives that has been taught to them. Keep falsely telling them that their ancestors were cruel to each other in the past and keep broadcasting false news reports of how cruel they still are to each other. Only show them tragedies on the news about themselves so that they would live in fear and think the worst of each other. Convince them that their group used to be nothing more than wild animals. Make them think that their very existence is so random that they lack purpose. Tell them that their kind is better off now than any time before. Therefore, they won't question the integrity of the system they're now within. Provide them with an image of a God that looks like their oppressors and that looks furthest away from themselves. Show them their oppressors' physical characteristics as being the standard of what is beautiful, so that they will never be content with their own physical appearance. It will also cause them to rank their beauty standards based on how closely they look like their oppressors. This will cause them to alter their appearance to look more like their oppressors as a means of finding happiness. These combined notice strategies is how you mentally enslave a great people that have benefited the world the most throughout history. More specifically, it's what white oppressive forces have done and is continuously doing to Africans throughout the diaspora. It's why they miseducate us to believe that we've come from nothing by alleging that Africans were illiterate and uncivilized before the Europeans invaded. However, the reality is that Africans are the first to build in stone and the first to smelt metal. Africans invented the wheel, paper, the calendar, the concept of 24 hours in a day. The world's oldest university, library, manuscript, encyclopedia, human prosthetic, mathematical tools, medical journals are all found in Africa. The world's largest wall ever built is not the Great Wall of China. It's actually the Great Wall of Benin, located in Nigeria. It's in fact 4 times larger than the Great Wall of China and is recognized by the Guinness World Records. And long before Caucasians invaded Africa, it was Africans that civilized Europe. Africans introduced science, writing, math, and philosophy to Europe. Greece's first scholars openly admitted that they were educated by Africans. Africans also introduced hygiene practices to the Europeans, such as shaving, the use of toothpaste, deodorant, perfumes, and even the daily bath to Europeans. To further endorse the lie that we Africans were illiterate and uncivilized, the white society ridiculously claimed that Africa's ancient Egyptians were Europeans. However, DNA analysis performed upon the mummies of many ancient pharaohs have scientifically proven that they were in fact Africans. Their DNA matches present-day sub-Saharan Africans and also those located in South Africa. They also mentally enslave us by miseducating us to believe that we're the leeches of society that haven't invented much throughout history. However, the hidden reality is that in spite of cultural traumas wrought by the injustices of white racism and slavery, most inventions that revolutionized the world were either in fact invented by black people or were directly inspired by an early invention by black people. Without black people, there would exist no cell phones, no internet, No emails, no GPS, no elevators, therefore no skyscrapers, no working light bulbs, no helicopters, no motors, no motorized vehicles, no traffic lights, no air conditioning, no central heating, no feminine sanitary pads, no washing machines, no refrigerators, no refrigerated trucks, no 3D movies, no home security surveillance systems, no game cartridges, no blood banks, no fiber optics, no electric lamps, no pencil sharpness, no lawnmower. The world would look totally different if it wasn't for black people. But you don't know this fact. They also mentally enslave us by miseducating us to believe that we Africans are the lowest evolved Homo sapiens, while depicting themselves, Caucasians, as being the highest evolved. They allege that we're closest to apes. However, it's been scientifically proven that Africans are the true Homo sapiens, and that Caucasians are in fact Neanderthals that masquerade themselves as being the highest evolved Homo sapiens. The Darwinian evolutionary chart does not even apply to Africans. Unlike Caucasians, Africans did not evolve from lower primates, but have instead always been Homo sapiens. This has been proven scientifically. They've taught us everything in reverse to falsely exalt themselves and falsely marginalize us. It's a control system that utilizes the immense power that shame has upon the human mind to mentally enslave millions of black people. Now, while black people were able to come together in the past and unify ourselves against the white society's more blatant subjugation tactics, most black people are totally clueless of this ongoing covert mental enslaving system. We've therefore never addressed it. It's deployed gradually and covertly and constantly. And it's not easily recognized or easily comprehended by its black victims. This allows the white society to continue its subjugation of black people without any black resistance. Those black people that don't critically think never notices their mental change. Those of us with insight therefore knows the truth. We must teach the truth even if our own brainwashed people hates us for doing so. We must teach it whether it fills the room or clears it out. We must post the truth whether we're hated for it, berated for it, blocked for it, or unfriended for it. We must teach the truth regardless of who it offends, because we're called by our ancestors to awaken the sleeping sheep, not to entertain the blind, mentally enslaved goats. So keep teaching, keep teaching, keep teaching. One love and peace, brothers and sisters.